What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to review round one of the 2025 NRL season, guys. And man, how good is it to have a full weekend of rugby league back? Absolutely loved every second of it. I'm up here in Queensland where it's been cycloning and raining, and I just got to sit at home all weekend, watch rugby league, watch UFC all day. What an awesome weekend, guys. As always, guys, let us know how you went in the tips. Let us know if you had any big wins on the punt this weekend. We absolutely slaughtered the punt if we include UFC. We had a really big weekend. I think even in the last 10, last 9 punts, 6, 7 cashes, green ticks galore everywhere, guys. So let us know how you went. I'm actually really excited about the punt this year. I think we're going to win heaps. Guys. Like, normally the first 4 or 5 rounds, you're pretty bad. Like, because you just are. Just teams you thought were going to be good are bad, and teams you thought were going to be bad were going to be good, and all of a sudden it takes you a while to sort of calibrate. But to hit that many that early, I mean, we lost a couple, of course, but to hit that many early, I'm super excited about, guys. As always, make sure you jump on Dabble. If you're not already a member, use the code in the description, or use the link in description, or use my code SNAG when joining. It will automatically follow me when you join. And man, it was good. It was a good weekend, guys. All right, so in this video, guys, we've only got 6 games to go through, so we'll go through them. We'll have a look at who's winning the tipping comp. We'll have a look at Supercoach real quickly. And we'll do those a little bit more depth as we go along. And then we'll go through each game and see who won. Talk about it, break it down. Talk about who won, who break it down, players to look out for, all that sort of good stuff, guys. So, man, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. All right, let's have a really quick look at the tips. All right, so for tips, we went 6 from 8 first round. So I'm pretty happy with that. It could have been a little better. I mean, Canberra Raiders game, I tipped with my heart instead of my head. I actually knew they were going to do that, and I actually think we would have got this one right too if it was played at Suncorp and they had their players as well. So I'm feeling a little gypped. I reckon I should have had a perfect round here, guys, but it is what it is, guys. That's footy. That's the thing about it. Now, let me have a look at who's actually winning this bad boy. I just want to give whoever's winning a shout out each week. We have Max 454 out in front, perfect round. And we have, that's a one shy of a perfect round, isn't it? 14 points because it is a double round, and got the margin as well. So no perfect rounds. I'm on 12 points down here somewhere. But yeah, Max 454, and was it Warringo Jonesy is on 14 points as well with the 10-point margin. So shout out to you, bro. That's a pretty damn solid round of footy. Pretty damn solid round of tipping. I'm not going to lie. All right, guys. Let's move on to the games real quick. So we know the first 2 were played in Vegas last week. So let's start down here. And we have... One sec. The Brisbane Broncos defeat the Roosters 50-14. The Knights scrape home against the West Tigers 10-8. Rabbitohs defeat the Dolphins 16-14. Bulldogs defeat the Dragons 28-20. Seagulls beat the Cowboys 42-12, and the Storm hump the Eels 56-18. Knights get the bye. Let's have a real quick look at the ladder. Man, just quietly, every single team in the top 8 now is what I had in the top 8. Other than I don't have the Bunnies, I have the Sharkies in there, and I just think they're gonna sneak up there. I have a sneaking suspicion that Sharkies gonna make the 8. So my top 8 predictions looking juicy after round 1, boys. I told you I was on. Told you I took it seriously this year. All right, boys. Let's have a quick look. See, go through all the games real quick. Look, Broncos versus the Sydney Roosters, man. First 10 minutes, I was actually sitting there going, man, Roosters are slapping. They were really hitting hard. Line speed was great. Broncos weren't going anywhere. And then it just opened up. It really did. And there was just tries everywhere. So many people cashed anytime try scorers. It was absolutely nuts, guys. And yeah, it was just... Oh, geez, that sneeze came out of nowhere. Yeah, it was just, they just had no answer. And it was just an absolute slaughter. And I tell you what, it was just very rarely do you see, like, there was just no answers. Like, even though Roosters might have done a lot of things right, like, for example, they'd put kick pressure on, inside kick pressure, then they'd spin it and there would be a try. They'd go left, they would get a try. They wanted to go through the middle, they'd get a try. It was just everywhere. It wasn't a weak spot for the Roosters. Broncos slaughtered them all across the park, and it was an absolute bloodbath. It was really bad. Having said that, Roosters, I do think if they play with that intensity, they will win games of rugby league this year. Like, I actually don't think they were that horrible. I just thought it was more, they were just completely outgunned. They brought a spoon to a gunfight, you know. They didn't bring a knife. They were just a little outgunned against a team that looked like 2023 Broncos, who I say is one of the best rugby league teams I've seen fielded. Probably the best rugby league team to not win a premiership. They looked good all year and played awesome in the grand final and lost. They were a very good rugby league team that year, and they looked pretty damn good. And one thing I sort of take out of this one is, so actually first, does Ezra Mann get back into this team? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one, guys. If Brisbane Broncos, was he get back round 9? In round 9, they're 8-1 or 9-0. Does he come back in? I don't know. I don't know if he does. I don't know if Madge puts him back in. I really don't. Obviously, younger and more athletic and all that sort of stuff, but the footy IQ of these two guys was just on another level, and it's just special. It was just beautiful to watch, you know. But hey, I'd probably leave him in the shed and, you know, let these two guys go to work. And someone summed this up really good, and I wish I could remember who it was, but someone actually said this. It was on TV. I can't remember if it was Channel 9 or Fox or whoever. Might have been Coop. Might have been something. Might have been Innes. I don't know. But someone said the Broncos look like every single player had to earn their jersey, which hasn't been the case for a very long time at the Brisbane Broncos. These Brisbane Broncos players that come through get picked up by academy. They're the best players at 14 years old. They get picked up. They get treated like absolute gods from the minute they're 14 years old. They've got this pathway carved out from, and quite often they play like it. And they are super talented. I'm not saying they're not talented, but the jerseys are just not given to them. But you get what I'm saying. Like, they've just, and they sort of play like that a lot of the time. And like, for example, Brisbane Broncos should not, the last 20 years, so just let this sink in for a second, boys. There are 19-year-olds right now going to a nightclub that haven't seen the Brisbane Broncos win a premiership. They're the richest club. They can give the biggest third-party deals. They have first dibs on the biggest, second biggest basin in Australia of juniors. They should be at They should be winning premierships, or like Melbourne, finishing 5th lowest. That should be the Brisbane Broncos, not what they've been tossing up. So Madge looks like he's made these guys earn the jersey, for example. And this is a perfect example. With the last name of Walters 10, 15 years ago or whatever, or 10 years ago or something, I almost guarantee he would have been starting this year. He went, no, Pakes, no, you're not going anywhere, mate. No, come back here. I like what I see. Go play. And he looked like Harry Grant. He looked absolutely incredible. So, man, I just thought that really summed it up. And I didn't even think of that. I'm just parroting someone else. Like I said, I wish I remember who said that, but it really did sum it up perfectly. Guys like Piakura would have been one of these guys who came through the Brisbane system, incredible footwork, size, speed, all this stuff. But did he work as hard as Gievsky? No. Grofsky. I'm calling him G-Train. I just cannot pronounce his name. G-Train trained harder, worked harder, and I'm loving all the little stuff he's doing. He's playing. Looked great. So Broncos, winning combination. What's that old saying? Hard work beats talent, but when talent works hard, GG's, boys, GG's. West Tigers versus the Knights, boys. Look, this was just a really disappointing game from every single person on the park, except for Kalen Ponga, including the refs. You boys know I don't complain about refs. My dad told me when I was like 8 years old, only losers complain about the refs. And it's true. You don't see many winning teams complaining about the refs. The refs in this were so poor, both teams. It was just a poor display. It was good. sometimes I don't care if refs make bad calls, but what I just really hate is it really grinds my gears is when one tackle, so say 2 tackles happen and neither are dominant, and one they let them hold them down for 4 seconds, the next one they blow a penalty on the first second. It really pisses me off. It gives no flow to the game, and this is what this game felt like. It had no flow. Two identical tackles will go down. One will get held down for 5 seconds and be fine. The second one's a penalty after 1 second. It pissed me off. Really pissed me off. That's why I hate the Sharp, the blonde one. People go, oh, it's because she's a woman. Oh, it's because she's... No, man, she can't keep the flow of a game. Every penalty's different. It pisses me off. That's why I hate her too. And I hate Casey the Hairy Badger because she's just terrible. She makes really bad calls. I don't even know who reffed this game, but I was just sitting there going, there was no flow to it at all. Oh, there you go. Casey the Hairy Badger was there. Liam Kennedy. You had a stinker, Liam. Good name, though. Look, man. What have I got written down for this one? Yeah, look. I put Knights in my top 8 for this reason. I was like, a lot of times when teams don't add a whole bunch, they're like, oh, they're going to be worse than they were last year. Nah, bro, they finished in the finals last year, beat a lot of good teams. If they just tidy up little things, they can be a better rugby league team than they were last year. And I was really expecting them to come out against the worst team of the last decade, the team that's won 3 wooden spoons in a row, who's missing half their spine, Api Coruscant and Buller. They should have come on, and this is the worst part of it, and the Tigers also played bad, and you looked worse. That's what really pissed me off. I was like, what are you doing, Knights? Like, this is absolutely atrocious. Having said that, it is round 1. We'll have to wait and see how it all plans out. But, yeah, honestly think any other top 8 team would have put 40 points minimum on the Tigers that night. Like, both teams, I'm pretty sure both teams, completions are actually okay, but they were just bad. Like, I mean, 79% is actually pretty good, but Tigers did not play that good, man. They were absolutely awful. I actually thought Kalen Pong was really good, but not for the stuff we're used to seeing him. He played like Clint Gutherson, like he was saving tries, just getting out of trouble out of the halves, diving out, doing all the little effort stuff really good. I was really impressed with Kalen Ponga in that sense. A lot of those superstars don't do that sort of stuff. They're like, I earn too much money. I don't have to dive. I don't have to put my body on the line. I'm going to get paid anyway. But, it was pretty hard on the eyes, and there was just so many obvious flaws in the... I think Tigers can be better. They're missing a couple of players, obviously, but just Marju and Best and Ponga barely linked up in the game, and they had clear mismatches. They had Fatape, who's okay at absolute best, and Taruva, who's very good, but it's a small body against Marju and Best. All you need to do is create half an overlap. You score on points whenever you want. They never went there, or when they did, they bombed it. Best was catching the ball up above his head and whatever. It was just not good enough. Both teams have to be substantially better if they even want to be fighting for the 8, let alone make the 8. So, pretty poor effort from both teams. Not much to write home about, but I'll give them both a pass because it was round 1. Just. On to the Dolphins versus the Rabbitohs. This is one of the games I got wrong, but 3 tries apiece here, guys. Look, both teams looked okay. They looked like okay rugby league teams. A lot of people have either one of these teams bottom of the table, if not spoons. Neither team looked like a spoon. I saw a lot of good effort, a lot of this, a lot of that, but just no spark. Pretty boring game. Not boring, but not entertaining. And yeah, it was just a little off. It really was. And just a couple of things for me for the Dolphins. You want to make a genuine push at the finals. Look, I love Hammer. Who doesn't love the Hammer? But just, I feel like he almost waits until there's broken play before it. I want to see more. Watch Turbo. I think Turbo's waiting for open play to get involved. Whereas Hammer was just I saw once his eyes lit up, he saw space, scooped the ball up from dummy half. I think he got ankle tapped or something and went on the ground. I didn't see him put it in top gear once in this game. And this game was begging for a game breaker, just begging for someone to break this game open. And it was just, Hamid was nowhere. Again, I love him, but I really don't want to see him to fall in that Latrell style thing where it's like, well, he creates highlights so he doesn't have to do all the little stuff and play with max effort and all that sort of stuff. You're good, you're not that good, right? He needs to be busier, in my opinion. But like I said, I'm sure he can. But it's almost like I was like in MMA, did he have a staff or something? He just looked flat. He looked flat, boys. And just one other thing as well. Look, Isaiah Katoa, I love him. I said this since their first year, and I said this about Nathan Cleary. I had Nathan Cleary to possibly be a GOAT from, I think, his 5th game rugby league, and it wasn't because of his skills or anything like that. It was because I'd never seen an 18-year-old control a game of rugby league from start to finish like Nathan Cleary did. And I hadn't seen anyone do it since. Like, all the young halves that had come through are like good ball runners. They're slick, Sam Walkers and all these sort of guys. Katoa does control the game really, really well, and he did it in this game. He was dropping the ball in that 10-by-10 box in the corner. He was doing this, he was doing that. He was doing all the good stuff that a half does. But he did it a few times last year, and this game is very similar to what I was just talking about before. He just can't close the game. Nathan Cleary actually did it to him last year. Game in the balance. Nathan Cleary grabbed it. 2-point field goal. He was kicking too deep when there wasn't much time left, not letting these guys compete for the ball, stuff like that. So he has to be better there. But yeah, that's, you live and you learn. Like again, and I said this to my mate when we were sitting there, Nathan Cleary wasn't closing games hardcore at 19, 20 years old either. So plenty of room to grow there, but that's definitely something they need to work on. And just the only thing I'd really change for the Bunnies, I'd put Dallas Tunkin in. I actually thought this Lachlan Hubner guy was awesome. But I think just a little bit of extra leg speed through the middle. And Kyle Matangi and Jairo were absolutely enormous. But I just want to give a huge shout out to this dude, because without this dude, they don't win the game. Campbell Graham hasn't played a game of rugby league in something like 500 days or something. In those 500 days, Critter has come out and just established himself as the best centre in the game or whatever. I'm telling you, this guy was damn close to being the best centre. He was the best defensive centre. I know everyone's sort of given that to Critter as well. This guy was better. This guy went with his defence, and you watch that last shift that the Dolphins did where they should have scored was absolutely beautiful. The way they had a complete overlap, the way he just checked the centre enough to make him pass, released, and just folded Junior Tupou, who's a monster. Like, folded him, made him drop the ball. Campbell Graham impacted games without the ball, and then just before he got injured, he started dropping hat tricks and stuff. And I was sitting there going, this guy actually might be the best centre in the comp. I had him no doubtedly the best defensive centre. But I was like, this guy actually might be the best centre because he's impacted the game with his defence, but now he's scoring hat tricks. Like, this guy's a freak. So good to see him back and firing. He is absolute top shelf. Yeah, he's absolutely special, man. Like, he's got like tentacles. He's like just globs onto you, and you can't get him off, and you just next minute you're bungled into touch. If you told me, like, if you needed someone to defend a 2-on-1 and an edge to save your life in the history of the game, Campbell Graham all day. But yeah, both teams look okay. They can be better, but nothing to write home about, and a pretty mid-level game as well. Dragons versus the Doggies. Now, 4 tries to 5. Pretty mid-level game. Both teams completed poorly. The scoreline, I guess it's sort of hard to say, because I was about to say it didn't reflect how dominant the Doggies were, because the Doggies weren't that dominant, but they were so much better. Like, they were so much better than the Dragons in the sense that their line speed was better, their kick chase was better, their kick pressure was better, their snapping into marker was better. They were just better, and all the good effort areas, line speed was better, all that stuff. But couldn't really put the Dragons away. But yeah, I liked a lot of what the Bulldogs did. I really did. Need Karaz back. I mean, Montoya showed, it was funny in the Discord chat as well. If you want to join our Discord too, I'll make sure I leave a link in the description of this one. So he scored that awesome try where he hit and spun and got over. I was like, damn, that's nice. And then he made an error on the next count. I'm like, everyone's like, oh, I'm like, that's Montoya, bro. Like, if you watch Warriors games, you know that's exactly what he does. He'll do something where you go, damn, that was as good as any winger could do, and then you go, oh, error. So definitely a better team with Carraz in it, but Montoya's still pretty solid. The only thing I would change for the Doggies is I would definitely be bringing. I think Salmon's got to miss out. It sort of sucks because he was sort of what that initial buy they all did, and he was really good for him. But I just don't think he's quite good enough. I don't think him and the team is their best 17. I'd definitely have. I'd definitely have. Sorry, definitely not starting. So I'd start Kurt Mann. They looked substantially better when he came on. And Satili was so good. I had a few people in Discord and just commenting on my videos too, saying, yeah, like Serraldo's really brought the breast out of him. No. He's always been this good. I mean, I'm sure Serraldo's helped. I'm not like knocking Serraldo. The problem with why we've never seen close to the best of Satili is all we've seen patches of it is he always gets, because they've been so deep, sometimes he doesn't even make the team. Like, you can't not play Angus Crichton. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, we're talking about state of origin players and stuff. You can't place Victor Adler. Like, and then when he did get brought into the team, he'd get put in either in centre, in like left edge, right edge. Like, he's a middle. He's a big boy with good leg speed. He got brought on through the middle and looked enormous. He's always been this good, boys. Bulldogs bought a very, very good rugby league player. They're done really good with that, picking good players that aren't getting a shot, like Connor Tracy. I always said this when Connor Tracy was at the Sharks. I said he is the best player, not playing regular NRL, and he is. Like, is he the best fullback? Of course not. But he was, to me, the best player who was not getting a crack in the NRL. And then, boom, picked him up. There you go. Probably on a bargain too, probably on a steal. As far as the Dragons went, complete opposite of what the Doggies did. The slow line speed, no kick pressure. The one time they put kick pressure on, Burton put a bad kick up. Knock it into marker. Just no kick chase. Connor Tracy just got to run right, and it was just, yeah. And then just onto the players and things like, a lot of people are like, man, I can't believe Canberra let Gula go. I was saying the same thing. I do now. Jesus, he was awful. Look, he was awful. Lachlan Ilias, maybe he wasn't the scapegoat of the Bunnies. He was just, his kicks stunk. He couldn't tackle. He was getting busted up. And like I said, Doggies were good, but it's not like they were dishing up stuff that no other team can do. Like, imagine if he tackles like that against Turbo, against Manly. Whew. Also, Damien Cook, I love you, bro. I think he's got to go back to the bench and Little's got to start. Dragons looked so much better when Little came on. And he made that massive break. Holmes needs more carries as well, and they need to get him more involved. Doggies actually did purposely kick away from him as well, though. But yeah, it was. I saw enough from the Doggies to be like, they're going to look very similar to last year. That's what my main takeaway was. Do they have the firepower to beat Manly? To beat the Sharks? To beat Melbourne? To beat Penrith? To beat Broncos? Maybe not, but they look like they're going to win a lot of rugby league games. They really do. Let's go to the next game, eh? This was absolutely insane. This right here, this 26 minutes of football. This is the thing, right? Storm did a very similar thing just now to the Eels. In fact, slightly better, an extra try. Just wasn't as beautiful as this was. This was the sexiest rugby league I have ever seen played. This was jaw-dropping. I can't believe what I'm watching. Just it was magical, man. Like, it was that tip-on pass that Turbo did. I actually was like, who was the winger again? That he got? Was it Tulangi? I actually went, well defended, Tulangi. Did he pass that? What? I thought Turbo caught it and got tackled. It happened so fast. I've got 20/20 vision, lad. Couldn't believe my eyes. In slow-mo, it was fast. And this is the thing too, tip-on tries, normally they're catching it. It hit bro on the chest, man. Mate, if they can keep that up, oh my God. This is great. This score absolutely flatters the Cowboys. I reckon they left minimum 3 tries out there, which would have brought it to 60. No, it wouldn't have. 50-something. It was magical, man. Like, it really was. I tell you what, if they stay fit, if they keep playing like that, if Turbo stays fit, it's going to be a nightmare. I've been saying this for a while too. I genuinely do think Turbo is and has been the best fullback in the comp for a long time now, just because he does a lot of what Dylan Edwards and all that does anyway. But he's 6'5" and fast, and just he obviously to me isn't the best fullback because availability is the best asset as a rugby league player. Your best skill set is your availability, and he hasn't had it. So that's why I've never said once Turbo's the best fullback in the comp. You can't be if you're not available. But what we saw, I mean, let's just go. Like I said, I wasn't going to go through a ton of player stats, but let's just go admire this. He was so good. 206 run meters, 1 line break, 3 line break assists, 2 try assists, 6 tackle breaks. It was so silly what he did. It was so funny. I write down notes during the game, and I wrote flawless first 10 minutes. Try for bloody 40 minutes. It was flawless. Oh, mate, it was something else. I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I really couldn't. It's just... No one played bad. Like, I'm pretty sure every single back 5 player got... I'm pretty sure their back 7 all got 100 points on Supercoach. If it wasn't, it was damn close. It really was. Paseka, Takeaho looked great. I just missed that jank. The old Tamalolo jank before you hit the line. Homoli Olakuatu could absolutely lock up second row of the year this year. He made, like, he was running at Dearden. Do we all agree Dearden's the best defensive half in the game? I don't think there's a better one. I mean, the size difference, I know, boys. I know. But he terrorised him. There was a shot where he went bang down. They went right. Yeah, he's on the right. And he went bang, and there was 2 dudes on the ground, and it was Talangi and Dearden. I'm like, that's 2 State of Origin players, bro. He's just so enormous, man. Absolutely. Just their team is so balanced, so fast on the edges. When he's on, the best fullback in the game. When he's on, experienced halves, good running 6, big size, the lock that just stops you in your tracks, the destructive second rower, the workhorse front second rower that can run a good line, and a really good bench. This team is balanced, man. This is absolutely incredible. Now, Cowboys, I'm not going to break your team down. I'm not even going to talk about you because, just like Parramatta, where's the trash? Just throw that one in the bin and start again, boys. That never happened. Manly would have done that to, how many teams are in the comp? 17. Manly would have done that to 13 teams. You happen to be one of them. You're not quite on that Melbourne level or Penrith level. Just throw that one in the trash and start again. Forget anything that happened. Don't be going out here dropping Duffy on his first game. Don't be out here mucking with things. Manly would have done that to just about everyone. Throw that one in the trash. Move on. That's my opinion. I heard people saying, because I was pumping up Manly, talking about how good they were. Yeah, the Cowboys suck. No, they don't. They got 5 State of Origin players, bro. They got pumped. Throw it in the trash. You came out of the gate slow. Move on. You can win rugby league games, all right? You're going to be just fine. But yeah, you got to ball that one up, throw it in the trash. It never happened. Pre-season, that was your pre-season trial game. Move on. Just like, let's move on to this one. Storm versus Eels. When you get your draw, you would look at round 1 first, obviously. You're not going to go check out what's popping in round 17. If you get Melbourne Storm, you immediately go, damn it. I'm sure Penrith would too. No, maybe not Penrith. Just really unlucky. And then to lose Moses, it was never going to end well for them. They got a lot of tackle in practice. And I'll give them a little rap. They won the second half. I know they put the handbrake on. I know they brought Grant off. I know they brought Hughes off. But they looked okay in the second half. But they were absolutely blindsided, jumped, ambushed, whatever word you want to use for it. It was crazy. And Melbourne, just like we thought they were going to be an absolute problem this year. You do not want to play Melbourne twice this year. That's you want to pray to God that you play them around State of Origin time and there's no Munster or Jerome Hughes. Not Jerome Hughes, Harry Grant or Munster or Clotes. But yeah, look, it was pretty damn special, man. I mean, very different too. I will admit too, actually, I didn't watch this game. I had the UFC. Well, I watched the second half. I had the UFC on and I had a second TV there watching this game, so I was sort of doing them ones. Like, just the set plays, like, very similar. To me, Broncos looked awesome, but to me, the two best teams out there was Penrith. I know people are like, what do you mean? They only won by 4 points. They did stuff in the game. Broncos just blew them off the park. You know what I mean? Whereas Melbourne were doing outside insides. They were running plays. They were shifty. They were throwing stuff at Parramatta that they couldn't defend. It was also what Penrith did, where they, like, for example, that play at the scrum where they were going to run a play. They saw Stone Street in the line, switched it, ran at Stone Street, left him on the ground, played the ball, spin it to where Stone Street would have been. That is high IQ stuff. And then also how they played left to get Will Kennedy out of the line, to get Will Kennedy to the left, or to his right. And then they go right, dab the ball over to Tungor, and he catches it on the floor and scores a try. That's like NFL stuff. You know what I mean? Like NFL will do stuff like that quite regularly, where they'll set something up, then shift it, and then run over there. They've got 20, 30 seconds, sometimes a minute at a timeout to plan that. This guy's doing it on the fly. And that's why I was pretty impressed with those guys too. Manly probably... Scratch that. I'm not saying any two teams were better on what performance was, but I'm just saying Melbourne Storms was up there. It was goddamn up there, guys. They're a team, man. They're a team. I've got them on Dabble. I couldn't believe Dabble messed this up, man. The overs unders for them to win this year was 17.5. They won more games than that last year. You think the Melbourne Storm are going to win 17 games this year? Please. They're going to do that in 18 rounds. Jesus Christ, Dabble. Thank you for the free money. Yeah, like I said, this game's actually really hard to comment on as well, guys. It was just... Like I said, they pulled the handbrake off. It sort of looks a little more even, but look, they won everywhere. Look at these numbers, big, bold numbers all down the left here. They won everywhere. Ooh, they didn't win the play. Oh, no, they substantially won. Damn, the refs held them down. The refs let them hold them down. Won the offload. They were just enormous, man. They had 4 missed tackles at the half, 17 for the game. Just craziness, guys. 12 errors. Obviously, a lot of those came at the end there, but yeah, look. Storm, like I said, do we really need to talk about them? I'm not going to break down the game too much because there's nothing to break down. They were crazy. It was nuts. But look, Parramatta, I said this in my post-game video on TikTok and that. Don't panic. Like I said with the Cowboys, scrunch that one up, throw it away. I said this, and this is why I didn't put Parramatta in my 8, even though a lot of people did because they liked what they saw pre-season, all this sort of stuff. I think Riles is going to be a really good coach. Part of having being a good coach is like your aura and you just all that sort of stuff. I think Riles, he has that. Similar to Serraldo at the Bulldogs. When Serraldo came into the Bulldogs, they were absolute cheeks for that first year, because why? He didn't select this team. This is the team given to him. He's going, oh, I don't need that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. Give me that guy, and that guy. They come in. Once Rolesy gets his fingerprints on this team, it's going to be fine. I think Parramatta are going to be pretty good over the next few years. Locked Moses up for 5. If you've got a top 3 halfback in the game, you've got a good coach that can put the right players in around him, you're going to be good. I just feel a little bit of a Doggies year for them. Maybe that can be a bit... That Doggies team sucked, by the way. So hopefully they're a little better than that. But I think Parramatta, this could be a good rebuild year. And I think next year, if they get the right players around them, they could be pretty good. Just quick shout out. I was pretty damn impressed with this guy. Tavili? Bruh was like paying ass. Bro's born in 2005. He's 19. Bro was nice. Paseka vibes. Paseka, not quite Payne. You don't want to give. You can't compare him to Payne. Oh, he's 20. Damn. That is insane. That's like. He's 6 years older than my son. Wow. That is insane. But yeah, look, Parramatta a lot to work on. Dylan Brown wasn't really there. Longy had his glimpses. Zach Lomax, to me, he's got to go to the wing. Just does. Volkman, I think Volkman could become... I think he could play half. I think what he needs to do, let's just say they lose Dylan. Let's say Dylan Brown, for some reason, they cut him this year. I think if he played inside Moses and played 6 for a while and got a good year or two under his belt in the halves, I actually think he'd become a real good player. But obviously being the man, having that 7 on your back, thrust into it against Melbourne, not going to look great. But I see, like, he's nice. He's actually pretty nice. He's a footy player. You can just tell when you look at someone when they're a footy player, and he's a footy player, man. He really is. But completely outclassed here, guys. So let's not get too into this one. But look, let's see who do Parramatta have next week. Let's see if they can get a dub. Let's see who everyone's playing next week, guys. Let's do a real mini preview of next week. All right, Knights versus Dolphins. So 2 RC teams from this round play each other. Warriors, Seagulls. Man, Warriors might be sitting there going, oh no. Panthers, Roosters. What a rough start for the Roosters. St George Bunnies. That could be a really good game. That's a tough one to tip, actually. Cowboys, Sharks. Cowboys could be 0-5 by the time this season starts. They've got a rough 5 games to start the year. It's going to be tough. Raiders, Broncos. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. In Canberra. Okay. I'll give Canberra a chance in that one. Ooh, Eels. There you go, Eels. It's perfect. That's exactly what they needed. I'm not even going to say they're going to win, but that's what they need. Parramatta need a game against just not a top 6 team. Yeah, and then they can maybe work some stuff out. You know, you can't learn much about your team when you get a 40-piece put on you in the first half. We can learn who's got guts and who's still trying, so you can get some individual stuff. But yeah, you need Parramatta really need this game to get a gauge of its attack and defence and all that sort of stuff. And then the Bulldogs versus the Titans on Sunday at Belmore. Up the Doggies. I'll take Doggies to win that one. And yeah, wow, that's a pretty good weekend of footy. There's some nice games in here, actually. All right, that's it, lads. Beautiful. We're done. We wrapped it up quickly. Like I said, these videos will get longer and longer as the year goes on. As we get closer to finals, we've got more stats to break down, all that sort of stuff, guys. But let's keep it short and sweet for now. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.